Hey everyone, hope y'all are having an awesome day so far. So, last year I made a video showcasing my book collection. Since then I've added a few books. And this is a video I've been wanting to do for a while. I just haven't had the time, but now I do. And I just want to show you the books that I picked up and added to my previous collection. A lot of these are kind of nostalgic. They're books I had when I was a kid, and I thought it'd be just really cool to have them again. Some of them are books that I've been wanting to read for quite a while and just never have been able to get them. But yeah, let's go ahead and do this, man. I did get all these from a site called thriftbooks.com. They sell new and used books, and the used book prices are really good. If I remember, I'll put a link to their website in the description below. They also have an app, so check that out too. So let's get started. The first book I added is Where the Red Fern Grows. I've read this numerous times, mostly in middle school because we had to, and it's a really good book, man. Unfortunately it does, well, never mind, I don't want to spoil anything for you. It's a really good book. For some reason or another, I never had it in my personal collection until now. I actually spent enough money on the website to get a free book, and this is my free book of choice. So Where the Red Fern Grows, definitely glad to finally have my own copy. This next one is a book that I already have 2 copies of, but they're not in the greatest condition, so I got another one to make up for it. My favorite author, Michael Crichton, and Jurassic Park, and I'm so glad this is the one they sent me. This is my favorite cover out of all of them. But I have this exact book, and it's got ink spilled all over it, so I bought another copy, and like a genius that I am, when I put it in the bookshelf, I didn't realize that I had folded the front cover over, so half the book is folded over, so I needed one that was in decent shape. Finally got one. Now the other 2 I'm not going to throw away because, I hate to throw away books, and they're not torn up or anything like that. They're just, one's folded and one has dried ink on it. So I'll keep them, but I'm finally glad to have a Jurassic Park book that's in decent shape. And I'm so glad it was this cover. I love that cover. This next book is another Michael Crichton book, and I actually finished reading this last night. This is a book I've been wanting to have in my collection for quite a while. Airframe. Really, really good book, and the reason why I say Michael Crichton is my favorite author is because I've never read a Michael Crichton book that I did not enjoy. Every single one of his books that I've read, I've really enjoyed, and Airframe was no different. This next book is another Michael Crichton book that I've been wanting to add to my collection for a while. I'm actually going to start reading this one today. This is State of Fear. Kind of a thick book too, so I'm looking forward to starting that. But yeah, another Michael Crichton. There's a lot of Michael Crichton books I want to add to my collection. And this is one of them, so I'm glad to be having this one in my collection. I'm going to start that one today. We'll skip these 2 for now. This is another Michael Crichton book. Another one I've wanted to have in my collection for quite a while. One I have not read, but I'm looking forward to. Eaters of the Dead. Kind of a Norse Viking adventure, I think. Look at that, man. Tell you, man, I love Michael Crichton books, so definitely glad to have Eaters of the Dead in the collection. Let's see. I'm trying to get all the nostalgic books for last. This book is one that I've wanted to have for quite a while. They did not have the paperback version, so I ordered the hardcover. It said it was in good condition, and I found out why it's only listed as good. It was a former library book, but other than that, there's nothing wrong with it at all. Empire of Blue Water, Captain Morgan's Great Pirate Army, the epic battle for the Americas, and the catastrophe that ended the Outlaws' bloody reign. Good Lord, it's a mouthful. So yeah, Captain Morgan and the pirates. I love reading about pirates. I mean, true stories, factual things about the pirates, not the Hollywood romanticized versions where they're romantic swashbucklers. No, they were brutal killers, and it sounds bad, but I love reading about them. So I'm definitely looking forward to diving into this. This will probably be read after I go through my Michael Crichton books here. So definitely excited to have Empire of Blue Water. Now these next books are all well, no, we have one that's not nostalgic, and I forgot I had it. The Unauthorized Biography of Vanilla Ice. Yes, I'm a Vanilla Ice fan. I love Vanilla Ice. I thought, man, why not? So this will be a fun read. Now, we're at the nostalgia. These next couple books I had when I was a kid. I'll be 39 in a few days. June 9th, I'll be 39. I had these books as a kid. When we moved here from Italy, a lot of these books, for some reason or another, just seemed to disappear. I found them on that site, and they were really cheap, and I figured, man, I'd love to have them in my collection again, if not for anything but nostalgia factor, but I'm actually, believe it or not, going to go through and read these. The first one is from Jeff Robin, How to Win at Nintendo Games. Yes, you're reading that right. I kid you not, the very first Legend of Zelda game, I had to read one of these How to Win a Nintendo Game books to get through level 9 and find Ganon. I always loved these books when I was a kid, man, and now that they're really cheap, it's awesome to have them in the collection again. So we had How to Win at Nintendo Games. We have How to Win at Nintendo Games number 3. I believe there were 4 altogether. 1 and 3 were the only ones that were in stock, so really cheap. Glad to have this back in the collection once again, and yes, I will actually be reading through these. While we're continuing with video games, this is another book I used to have when I was a kid. Nintendo Games Secrets. Now there were a couple of volumes of this. I remember one of them came out, and it was at Walden Books, and I paid for it in 50-cent pieces. Now I know the cashier had to be pissed, but I was a kid, man. I actually read through this when I first got it. This purely nostalgic, but at the same time it's really cool to be able to go back and read through these guides. It's just awesome to have it again. These next 3 I had back in 93. Or at least one of them was in 93. I remember reading one of them in 93. But I had all these as a kid. Somehow, some way, lost them, threw them away. I don't know what happened to them, but now I have them again. It has been so hard to find these. And surprisingly, thrift books had them. The first one is the novelization of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the original movie. I had this as a kid. It's awesome to have this again, and yes, I will be reading through these. So the novelization of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original movie. We have the novelization of Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, my favorite of all the Ninja Turtle movies. Absolute favorite. So I had this as a kid, for whatever reason lost it, could never find a copy of it until now. So excited to have this back in my collection. And since you have the first 2, as bad as it was, the novelization of the worst of the Ninja Turtle movies, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Turtles in Time, I guess you would call it. But yeah, I had this one as a kid too. And last was kind of a, it's not really a book, it is a strategy guide, Final Fantasy X-2. I live stream on Twitch, and I plan on live streaming Final Fantasy X-2 in the future, and I just remember loving the game, but being so confused and so lost. This was listed as in good condition, and it's got some coffee stains on the cover, but other than that, not bad at all. So, I mean, and that's the thing about the site I order these books from. It tells you what condition the book is in, so you're not going in blind. But yeah, the strategy guide for Final Fantasy X-2, I think it'll help me out a lot, because like I said, I was so confused playing that game. I loved it, but had no freaking clue what I was doing. So there you have it. Those are the books that I've added to my collection so far. I do have others keeping an eye out for. I want the first edition print of Jurassic Park, the hardcover. Now there is a copy, but it says it's in good condition, and I just, I don't know. I think I want it in better condition for the first edition. There are plenty of other Michael Crichton books on my list as well to get, and you know, in the future, I'll add to the collection and I'll get them. But for right now, I think this will hold me over for about a month or 2. So next one I'm going to be reading, as I said earlier, I'll start reading State of Fear today. But there you have it, folks. those are the books I've added to the collection. As a man who loves to read, I can't get enough books. I know you can do it on Kindle, you can read online, but there's nothing like having the actual physical book in your hands. Being able to turn the page, put the bookmark in, I just love having the actual book. So I think that's going to wrap it up. Hope y'all enjoyed this little peek at my newest collections, or newest books to the collection. I promise you I know how to talk. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have an awesome rest of your week. Y'all take care.